Uh, Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to the lesson of today. And today we have some work, some questions that we have gotten from the previous NEC statistics on how learners answered some questions. So when you go through what we have done, you discover that learners failed to answer some questions from some areas in the syllabus, and we have highlighted some of the common mistakes and the common questions that were very difficult for learners to answer. And I want us to go through them very fast, around 7-5 questions. Then from there, we call it a day. You can see the question number 36. It was captured in the Kcpe paper, I think some 2-3 years ago, and they were asking that the best way to reduce pollution in urban areas or urban centers is by. We have the 4 choices. The first choice is setting up industries in rural areas, establishing modern houses in slums, and providing dustbins in the streets, and the construction of bypasses. The question is asking about the best way of reducing pollution in urban areas. So we say that the best way, number one, is to ensure that the urban areas are not concentrated in terms of people. The number of people must be reduced to a manageable number. And as we know, in most urban centers in Africa, they are highly populated because of rural-urban migration, whereby people, they do think that if they go to urban areas, they are going to secure job opportunities in the urban areas. So the best way, it is setting up industries in rural areas. By so doing, we will limit the issue of rural-urban migration, because these members, even in rural areas, they can work. So by so doing, by limiting the rural-urban migration, we are going to deal with the issue of pollution in urban areas. And remember, the question was open. They are trying to inquire what you call the ways in which we can reduce what you call pollution in urban areas. The question is open. It is not limited. It is not closed. So they have tried to capture the mentality of learners, that they know on how urban areas can be kept clean is only by reducing the population increase in urban areas. This one is best done through setting of industries in rural areas. So that is the correct answer to the question. If you can go through what we have done, an analysis is saying that choosing the percentage choosing partners, those members who chose answer A were 32%, and those members who went for B, you can see A is setting up industries, and B is establishing modern houses. C was providing dustbins. Dustbins cannot make or cannot reduce. In fact, dustbins is for the later pollution. But if the question is open pollution, we go for the industries. That is one of the paper which was not done, or the one of the question which was not done well, simply because the learners failed to give the correct answer. Another question is here. Below conditions required by a certain crop in East Africa. In Eastern Africa, the temperatures are between 19 degrees Celsius and 26 degrees Celsius. Then annual rainfall between 800 and 1,800 millimeters. Deep, well-drained, fertile soil, and the protection from strong winds. When you go through the answers given here, the crops that are grown under the conditions listed above is, we have coffee, we have cloves, we have barethrem, we have bananas. Remember, in Uganda, we do grow coffee in Uganda. And in Uganda, the coffee is intercropped with bananas so that the bananas can act as wind breakers. So they require the protection from very strong winds, of course, deep and well-drained fertile soils, annual rainfall between 800 and 1,800 millimeters, and the temperatures, of course, the cool temperatures between 19 degrees Celsius and 26 degrees Celsius. The answer here is coffee. But also bananas, we improvise what we call props that supports the banana growing. So if you go to how learners choose answers, the choosing pattern, learners 20% of all learners choose what we call answer A. Of course, they were very correct. So you can see the highest percentage choose boy, which was wrong. The percentage was wrong. Even the mark mean, those members who chose to answer B, you can see they were 34.73, and those members who went with A were 34.992. So the correct answer here was coffee, that it does well and needs protection from very strong winds. So you can have the second question, that Sarah was asked by her teacher to give ways of caring for persons with physical disability. Which one of the response below would not be correct? Physical disability. Physical disability, boys and girls, these are members who have the challenges of using the body parts more. Maybe some body parts have some limits that we can use. Maybe they have some weak or undeveloped some parts of the body. So providing wheelchairs, this one is very nice for the physically disabled. Construction of ramps, these are stairs. Construction of ramps, of course, yes, for disabled. Using of the sign language, this is those members who need what you call, who cannot talk. So not disabled. Remember, somebody can be a dumb person, it's a person who can walk, they can think, but they cannot talk. So those are not physically disabled. And also we have designed special vehicles, of course. So answer A, B, and a dog. Well, for the members who are physically disabled. Using of sign language, this one is basically for those members who cannot talk, not physically disabled. So you see how what we have done analysis. Those learners who choose the answer A, wheelchairs, they were 5%. Those members who went with the construction of ramps, 21%. The highest number went for designing special vehicles. And the question is, which one of these responses below would not be correct? So they failed to answer or to analyze the question, and that's why they gave answer D at 38%. So the correct answer was answer C, using of the sign language. So you can see the percentage of 33.3%, and the mean was 38.232%. Those members who chose the correct answer. Those members who choose the correct answer. Then another question that we are having is question number 48. A 5-year-old girl whose parents' identity and nationality are not known has been found in Kenya. She will become a Kenyan citizen by. This person is less than 5 years. And we always say that if a child is found in Kenya, a child who is 8 years and below, and this child whose parent identity are not known, nor the nationality, we assume this person becomes a Kenyan citizen through birth if the child is less than 8 years. So the one who is less than 5 years is less than 8 years, so becomes a Kenyan citizen through birth. A child who has been found in Kenya, whose identity, parents, nationality is not known, we assume that this person became or becomes a Kenyan citizen through birth. You can see the options, how learners choose the answers. The highest percentage went with boy registration, which is wrong, and the correct answer was supposed to be A, by birth, because this child is less than 8 years. 15% chose C, and a certain percentage choose dog. So the correct answer was supposed to be A. Was supposed to be A. The last question for today. It is here. Question number 42. The question is here. An egg paper. The following are ways in which democracy is practiced in a school, except allowing pupils to elect their leaders, and encourage pupils to choose clubs, make pupils to participate in games, allow pupils to participate in making class rules. So they are asking about the democracy. When you allow, you promote democracy. When you encourage, you promote democracy. But when you make pupils to participate, it's like now you are forcing, you are directing them. Allowing pupils to participate in making class rules, very correct. So the answer C was wrong. And when you go through the analysis that I have done, those members who chose to answer A were 8%, a mean of 27.34. Those members who went with boy and encouraging people to, 33%. Those members who went with C, the correct answer were 30.29%, which is 41%. So making pupils to participate in games is it's not a democracy. It is in fact forcing them to do that work. So boys and girls, more analysis is coming. Those are some of the questions that came during the NEC, and it is good that in most cases we keep on revising for those papers, because they are likely to come in an exam. So assignment for today. This is an African map. You see it very clearly, and we are going to draw it. They are asking which kingdom was at the place marked XX. You can see XX. XX is a certain point here. The kingdom that we have done, this is grade 7 work. So this map will be drawn very nicely in your books, and you name as per the questions asked. So the first question, which kingdom was at the place marked X? So you are going to go through this region map well and answer the question. Number 2. The mountain found at the place marked M was formed as a result of the place marked M. We have these mountains here. So it's also good to answer these questions very well. Another question. The man-made lake marked by letter L. The man-made lake, the lake is around this region. So we are going to answer these questions from the map reading. And what is the name of the island marked K? We have the island marked K here, so you name these islands very well. This is question number 48. Then we go to question number 49. Which one of the following winds influence rainfall at the place marked Y? This is the place marked Y, the kind of winds that influence rainfall here. Then from there, we add some of the questions, like the question number 50. You can see below are subordinate courts in Kenya. Which one is not? Add that one. The registrar of the High Court is. Also, you answer that question very well. Another question is here. Which of the following is not an example of the recurrent expenditure? In fact, this is a grade 8 question, and this question should be answered well. So those are the work of today. Make sure that those questions are done very well, as we are going to meet next in our lesson. Learners, please keep on revising. This is we are here, and we have an exam very soon, come December. Have a nice evening. Shalom, and may God bless you.